to thank you for the faith and strength to win the day. Your words bring light, your power never dies and takes my fears away.
Hello ladies, and welcome back. So today what we're going to be doing is another silhouette image, and it's going to be an outline of a woman. Now I just copied this again from Google, but you're going to need some a couple of different kind of acrylics for this in order to get the silhouette style. Watercolor isn't thick enough. But in order to colour the background page, I just want a little bit of colour. So I'm going to use a handkerchief or a bit of paper towel will do. And I've literally made up some colour and soaked the handkerchief into the made up watercolour. Now I made that quite watery in order to get the volume, just to give the hint of a bit of colour on the page. So I didn't really want it really pigmented, but just a little bit. You will need to dry this before you move on to the next page. So I'm going to copy that image in, but as you can see, I've already got a silhouetted image behind this image. So what you'll find is if you're doing two kinds of pages, sometimes you'll have part of the image on the page behind that will hinder you being able to maybe copy and trace if you're using the tabletop app or a Lightbox. Now the best way to get around this is to do something that I call guidelines. So you half look at the image, lift it up, put it back down. It is much more of a longer process and does take you being slower and more methodical. So you'll see that I wrote strength and honour are her clothes. So the verse that we're looking at today is Proverbs 31, and it says, strength and honour are her clothing, and she can laugh at times to come. Now I really wanted to draw those words underneath, so if you can see, I did off camera, there's some gold writing in the middle of the image that we're just about to silhouette, because I wanted that as almost like a hidden message. Even though I'm going to write it underneath, I really like the idea of there being something beneath a picture that maybe only you would know. So you know, if you think about it, sometimes maybe you might want to write a prayer, or you might want to write part of your own story, but actually you want that to still remain quite personal and private to you. This is a really lovely way to still have that within your Bible, but it also still be a private memory if that's what you want. So I guess the reason why I picked this verse is at the moment it can be really challenging. I don't know about you ladies, but I consistently feel like my feet are on sand, and nothing is guaranteed, nothing can be depended upon. It just feels like everything and the world around us is consistently shifting and changing, and we're constantly having to adjust to changes in living, in routine, and just make adaptations. And I think that can be really hard, and it can be really quite draining. And I know personally, I don't think it's very much fun, and I think it's a real struggle, and I think it can be really hard to see the joy and where joy comes into life, because I think we can just get so focused on adapting to the different changes that are coming our way all the time that it can be hard to measure that. So I really loved the line that she can laugh at times to come. Ladies, if you are one of those people that are just a bit fed up now and struggling, whether it be because of COVID or whether it be because life at times just seems to be really tough and feels like you're walking through mud and mulch, and it's really difficult to pick up your feet, then then I completely understand, and so does God. And I think, this is a reminder to us, really, that it's okay that right now is really tough and really difficult, but actually, let's look up, let's look at Jesus and look out, because actually, where you are right now in your life isn't where you're going to be in 10 years, and isn't going to be where you were 5 years ago. And actually, sometimes it's about grit and endurance, and sometimes it's about holding on for the hope of the times to come. Because, ladies, there will be times, and we have laughed together through this lockdown period, and we have had joyous moments even in the midst of struggle together. And I think if we can continue to do that, if we can continue to hold our humour, we survive and thrive through situations rather than endure and struggle. So as you can see in this image, silhouetting is one of the most simplest ways of doing imagery and pictures. Now, you can draw an image out yourself, or you can trace one in after, but it just gives you a really striking picture with actually fairly little effort. So I'm just going to read on a little bit. So it says, so the verse in which we're doing is strengthen honor are her clothes, and she can laugh at times to come. Now, what's really interesting is the next two verses. It says, her mouth speak wisdom, and loving instruction is on her tongue. She watches over the activities of her household, and she is never idle. I think, ladies, as women, we don't really have time to be idle. I think there's a lot of things that we do in order to either keep ourselves busy or that keeps us busy. So what we now want to do is just decorate this a little bit more. So we're just going to lift it because it's quite a dark image. I want to give the definition of the neck and the hair. So now you can try Kerry's Beautiful Roses, but I am not that skilled. So I simply just did round circles. Now you can do them in any kind of colour you want, but what that's going to be is that's going to be the outside circle of our roses. And then what we're going to do is just go back in with a fine black pen and create lines in order to give it that rose effect. So Kerry showed us the roses, so they're like two mini C's interlocking, and then two wider C's encompassing both of them, and then you go out again with two more wider C's. So ladies, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to call us into prayer. Lord, I just thank you. I thank you that you are our hope and you are our salvation, Lord. I just pray for each and every one of us. Lord, you know where we are. You know what our days have been like and what our day is to come. Lord, I thank you that you give us reassurance, that we will find hope and salvation and laughter in what is to come within our lives, Lord. And we just pray that that comes upon us abundantly, and that we may be able to, through the good times and the bad, laugh at our situation, find light and happiness, Lord. And I just pray that you draw our eyes to seek and to look at you, Lord. And I ask that we do everything together, that when we make a decision, you are there. When we wake up in the morning, Lord, you are there. Help us to remember the strength and the hope and the life that we have with you, Lord, no matter what our situations are. I pray that we can find peace and shelter with you, drawing really close. Lord, help us feel you in our everyday lives. Amen. Now, ladies, I hope you've enjoyed this. It's just really, really simple image. You'll see that I added words at the end of it, but unfortunately, I forgot to record that. So, anyway, ladies, have a lovely Friday. Take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye.